What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, CEO MTS Nutrition, Exos trainer, and CrossFit Level 1 trainer. That's right, guys. Anyway, this is the Q&A. As you guys know, it's posted on my Facebook page. That page is my fan page. It's the first sticky post. It's facebook.com/Marc Lobliner. That's my name, facebook.com/Marc Lobliner. Also, for a portal with everything Marc Lobliner, please see my new website, MarcLobliner.com, MarcLobliner.com, with links to everything I do just about. So it comes from Jacob Rizkala. Hey, Marc. Oh, by the way, I don't read any of these in advance, so I might not have the answer. If I don't, I'll guarantee you I'll try and find it later. Hey, Marc, I recently injured my SI joint. Walking causes some discomfort. Running heavy squats and deadlifts are really painful. I don't want to take time off, but this is really bugging me. So should I take time off or just train around it? Depends on the degree of the injury. The SI joint is very, very fragile. It's in your back, right in here. I can't really point to it now. But what happens is it can get inflamed. It depends on the degree of injury. What I would recommend is a deep tissue massage in the area, manual manipulation, as well as lacrosse ball in the SI joint, and foam rolling. As for rehabbing it, I recommend starting from scratch. A lot of core activity, so I'd recommend goblet squats, light to start. I'd also recommend doing wall-facing deadlifts. Now, I don't think you need to take time off. I think you need to just train through it, which means training through it doesn't mean training around it. Training around it will just make that glaring weakness even weaker. What I recommend you do is do active rehab for it and then do movements that shouldn't affect it. For example, doing a bench press probably won't affect it. Doing a curl probably won't affect it. Just make sure you're not using body English and hurting everything while you're doing that. And also, once you work up, think about it, once you work up from goblet squat, wall-facing deadlift, then you throw in interesting things. Go to front squat, then go to overhead squat. Thing is, last thing you want to do is just give up on it. So I think manual manipulation via massage, perhaps try some rock tape. I love rock tape. Put it on your lower back. It'll help blood flow over the SI joint. I'll show you where mine's wrapped. Tramp stamp. I have mine go all the way down. Okay, one here, one here. Creates a blood flow type effect with the back. And I think it's a fantastic thing to do. Does it help? I don't know. But it doesn't hurt, and they're only like 11 bucks a roll. I believe we have it at TigerFitness.com. I'm not sure. So if we do, buy it from there. If not, you can buy it from any authorized retailer of rock tape across the country. So it comes from Alec Britton. Regarding the Drop Factor Transformation book, when choosing a macronutrient based on weight, do we choose where we currently are at or where we want to be at? For example, when trying to lose 100 pounds, no. Would it be better to eat for the fat ass currently being carried around? No, you want to eat for what you are now. So what you do is you start at, let's say you're 250 plus, above 250, start at the 250 pound man diet. If you don't lose 1 to 2 pounds that first week, you adjust it and it tells you how to lower that. So you lower carbohydrate, I guess in whatever meal it says to lower it in. Say you lower carbohydrate by 60 grams. You go for a week. If you do not lose weight again, you do the next step, which is lowering carbohydrate. Always start as high as possible. Because in diet, it's all about variables and manipulation. If you start at the lowest and you hit a stick point later on, there's nothing to move. That's why every time I coach somebody, I'll send them their diet. They're like, how am I going to eat all this food? And I'm like, don't worry. In about 6 weeks, you'll be crying to me that you're fucking hungry. So always start high because you can always go lower. Much harder to go higher. So even if you're eating half of that right now, start high as fuck. You'd be amazed what your body does when in a surplus and all of a sudden, and then you start dropping it down. The body does some magical things, and the body is not a textbook. From Justin Adams, Marc, do you believe there is a need for an MRP type protein in a diet versus MTS Nutrition Whey? No. The reason I like Macrolution is a lot of people don't eat a lot of greens or epic gains. Now, if you have a diet, you can just use MTS as your protein source. Get your carbohydrate source from, let's say, oatmeal, a banana, whatever. Get your fat source from peanut butter or whatever, and then get a fruit or a veggie on the side. The beauty of something like Macrolution is it has your protein, your healthy fats, controlled carbohydrates. If you want to add carbs, add a banana or something because it has your healthy fats in there. But it also has fruits and veggies built in. Most MRPs absolutely suck. Where Macrolution has your fruit and veggies built in, the equivalent of multiple servings a day in just one scoop. So that's where they pay their benefit. But if you get your veggies, your fats, your carbs, and all that with just whey or MTS Whey serving as your protein source, that's fine too. Well, Macrolution does it just provides an easy way, a convenient way to get all your nutrients you need in one simple scoop. You know what I'm saying? From Derek Garman. Hey Mark, I'm thinking about doing my first show and was wondering what your best advice for first-time competitors is. Now, first I will say make sure everything's in order because you're going to be pissed off, you're going to be angry, you're going to be hungry, you're going to be tired. So make sure that your career is in order and you can afford to be a dick for about 8 to 12 weeks. Make sure relationship is in order and your wife, if you're natural, let's be real, that your sex drive will drop. Even if you're not natural, it just fucks you up. And you might not want to bring home, you might not want to pound the pee, you know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, make sure all that's in order. Once you decide to do it, you have to get lean. Once you think you're lean enough, lose 10 more pounds. I'll give that quote courtesy of Brian Whitaker, multiple champion at the WMBF Worlds. So I would say that once you think you're lean enough, lose 10 more pounds. And even then, you probably need to lose more. Get shredded, conditioning wins contest. See, like me, I can't control the fact that my arms are too small for my chest and lats. I can't control the fact that my calves are too small for my quads. That's God. I've trained everything as hard as I can for 21 years. I know what I'm doing. The one thing I can control is being fucking shredded, and that's all about suffering. And also I recommend, if you want to hire a coach, you can look at me. I'm at marclobliner.com, marclobliner.com. Hire me as a coach. Other than other coaches I recommend, I'm not sure who's doing it right now or doing it the way I would do it, but I recommend myself because I'm me. And if I didn't think I'm the best, I shouldn't be doing it. But if you want to do it on your own, feel free. There's also my book, dropfactorbook.com, which might help you. But I would not even use my book to get to contest level shreddedness because that requires a whole new level of just retardedness and just attention to detail. And I adjust things sometimes daily, and I don't have planned refeeds. I throw in carbohydrate refeeds as I feel they're needed. And how do I know that? Experience. That's it. So you couldn't replicate what I do anyway. But if you think you do it on your own, hey, do it on your own, and best of luck. If you have any general questions about what to do, you can always email me, Marc, M-A-R-C, at mtsnutrition.com. From John Daniels, post-show, and when you're in a reverse diet, how many cheat meals should you be having? 1 week? More? I don't believe in any cheat meals. I don't like cheat meals. I believe you should fit meals into your diet. I don't believe that calling anything a cheat meal is psychologically advantageous to one's mental health. So I believe that cheat meals shouldn't exist. I believe that you should have ability to eat what you want. For example, though, when I go out, I always eat, something that fits my meals. And if, let's say, I do go over on carbohydrate or fat in one meal, I simply scale it back in the next meal. If you're on a macronutrient flexible diet, that's easy to do. If you blow all your fucking carbs and fat in one meal, just scale back. Now, what to do after that cheat meal, I have an entire video about this on YouTube. If you go, what to do after the cheat meal, Lobliner, it'll tell you what to do, but essentially don't fucking the next day cut back or anything. Go back to what you were doing before you fucked up. But I don't recommend any cheat meals. I recommend, planned refeeds. Or I recommend something like that. But I absolutely hate cheat meals. I feel it's a negative connotation in your mind, and I feel it does set you up for failure. I do believe everything should somewhat fit. Or if you have a meal that's a little bit off, just realize it's a free meal. Don't call it a cheat meal. But there is no rule, there's no law as to how many. That's for you to decide. For my clients, it's 0 because I just want best results. I'm not really worried about, if you're paying me to get you results, I'm not really caring about the fact that if you have to go to Denny's and order off the create your own slam instead of ordering Eggs Benedict to fit your needs, it's not my concern. My concern is giving you the best, healthiest body ever. And sometimes Eggs Benedict just don't fit in that equation. I'm sorry. Some people get offended because I'm too hardline of a trainer. But if that's the case, then don't hire me because I'm all about results. If you're paying me, I'm not going to give you subpar results. I'm going to give you the best results possible. From Nathan Robert Whipple, do you think Citrulline Malate is important for vascularity pump NO production in pre-workout? If you recommend it, what do you think the optimal serving size is? Now, the new Clash, which hits on Tuesday of this week, the new Clash actually has 6 grams of citrulline. The dose is, I believe, throughout the day, 6 to 10 grams is the adequate dose. Clash is right where you need to be because I assume you might have some more in your post-workout, whatever. But citrulline malate is a hoax. The citrulline malate on the market is actually citrulline blended with malic acid. From my understanding, I don't know, and I'm not, again, if I'm incorrect, I'd like to see someone send me a lab test to prove me wrong. The citrulline malate that's bonded, that the data is on, is too expensive for any companies to include it and very hard to source. So what you're getting is essentially expensive L-citrulline blended to keep the cost down with cheap malic acid, citing studies from the bonded forms of that, which is why in Clash we only use L-citrulline, the straight up amino acid, which is where the benefits are derived from. So I'd recommend about 6 grams of it. Now keeping that citrulline malate is 1-to-1. So for 6 to 10 grams, that would actually only be 3 grams or less, 3 to 5 grams of citrulline. So with 3 grams, it was a 1-to-1 dose that was studied. So with 3 grams of L-citrulline being the studied dose, 6 grams actually at the high end because it's straight L-citrulline. So I'd recommend 6 grams of L-citrulline. If it says citrulline malate, I would not buy it. That's just me. And I could be wrong about that. There could be a new source, but to my knowledge, last time I checked, you cannot source a straight bonded citrulline malate. If I am incorrect, I apologize. I will gladly take a correction for that. Again, I don't rehearse these or else I would have checked with my attorney first. From Ethan Crane, Mark, love you and your family. Put your info out there that put out. I'm a cystic fibrosis fighter. I've been listening for 5 years and benefited from it immensely. If you guys don't know, TigerFitness.com has donated over the last probably 5 years over $100,000 to Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. My daughter's best friend from North Carolina, Isla, has cystic fibrosis, and I have personally seen the bravery that that girl has, and I will always hold cystic fibrosis near and dear to my heart, and we will always be contributors to that charity, both personally and professionally. It's always a challenge to get to the gym where I'm at. I'm there, and I'm always with my family. As I'm always with family. The usual 5-day split is near impossible. Can I just go a month cold turkey and continue taking the subs? My diet will be immaculate. Wait, hold on. No, sorry. I just got... my question is, what would you recommend to keep calories high? Would you recommend heavy weight, low reps, mass building, or something else? For cystic fibrosis, it's all about weight training and also activity. Your problem's going to be with your lungs. So high repetition cardiovascular training might be difficult for you, which is why the low reps, high weight might work. But I'd keep reps in normal bodybuilding range. We don't go much over 15. I'd say anywhere between 3 and 15. I think any bodybuilding setup will work for you, sir. So I think anything you do will help. Just be sure to use resistance, and you can go hard to stimulate hypertrophy. As far as calories, I have a mass gainer called Epic Gains, and it's all clean carbohydrate and fat, okay? It's all healthy fats. It's all healthy protein. It's all fruits and vegetables are even built into it. It's all the carbohydrates are from brown rice. But with cystic fibrosis, your metabolism, everything's so weird and whacked. You're going to need to get calories. I remember Isla used to eat Vienna sausages to get her calories in as a child. Isla's my daughter's best friend. So I would recommend, high fat, high source of concentrated calories, peanut butter, oils, things like that. Just get the calories going. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have trouble keeping weight on. So anything calorically dense. And then augment in things like Epic Gains, which has the calories, but also has the healthy fruits and vegetables built in to help keep you healthy year round. Really appreciate your question, brother, and you are an inspiration. Everybody, Ethan Crane is the gentleman who wrote this, and if you can just give him a little love in the comments section, that'd be much appreciated, dude. You are an inspiration. People say once in a while, they'll say, hey, Mark, you inspire me. Tell you what, Ethan inspires me. From Alex Barbosa, hey, Mark, going on a month vacation, how should I go about my training and supplements? Creatine, beta-alanine. It's always a challenge to get to the gym when I'm there, and I'm always with family. It's usual 5-day split is near impossible. Should I go a month cold turkey without using any subs? My diet would be immaculate. You could pack enough, or you could bring it with you. Now, I'm guessing it's hard, but I'm just assuming that you can get 3 days a week where you can get to the gym. 3 days is all you need. In those 3 days, do push, pull, lower, or do full body, full body, full body, or do upper, lower, upper. Then the next week, do lower, upper, lower, and you'll be just fine. But no, there's no need to take off of supplements. Will it hurt you? Probably not. But if you want to feel right, for me, I travel with all my supplements because it's my routine, makes me feel good, and it keeps me from getting sick. I will recommend you travel with your health supplements. The health supplements I always travel with, because travel is extremely hard on your immune system, especially if you fly. I always fly with nectar and machine greens, and I make sure those are in my system. I always have overtraining solution, which has Imulina in it. Those 3 things will help keep you healthy. Machine greens, Ambrosia Nectar, and Ambrosia Overtraining Solutions. Make sure you have those, and I think it'll help you immensely. The rest of it's optional, but again, I think you could train just fine when you're gone. We have enough for another couple Q&A, so I'm going to cut it with, let's see where I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it with Vanessa. Vanessa, thank you, and Vanessa, you're a very attractive lady. Very nice picture. Vanessa Redford, hey Mark, what are your training suggestions for tall females that are trying to make lower body mass gains? Love your subs and channel content. Thank you to you and your family. Vanessa, I appreciate you writing in. Honestly, tall females, the same as short females. Being tall isn't necessarily the disadvantage. It's limb length and relativity to other limbs. You got to realize people like Brian Shaw, who's a world-class deadlifter, a lot of tall bodybuilders who can squat really deep and really well. What you need to do is just go back to the basics. And for you, I'd recommend squats, leg press, And I'd also separate legs into 2 days. I do this for everybody. Have a lower body pull and a lower body push day. So on the push day, you're focusing on things like squats, leg press, leg extension, okay? You focus on things like hack squats, to that nature. Rep range, go high reps and heavy weight. Essentially do anything you can between, let's say, 3 to 6. To hell, if you can get them beyond failure, 20 reps. Make sure you go hard and heavy. Training legs for a tall female is just like training legs for a short female. You just got to train them really hard, and you got to train them beyond the point where it hurts. All right, and then lower body deadlift day. Deadlifts are going to work on, deadlift is essentially a hip dominant leg movement. So you would do deadlift. For that day, I'd recommend doing a conventional versus a sumo deadlift, because a sumo deadlift is going to work more pushing type muscles, because in my opinion, it's simply a more squatty version of the deadlift, okay? Whereas a conventional deadlift, your hips are up, you're engaged, and you're pulling up, right? Whereas you're squatting like that on a sumo deadlift. So I'd highly recommend doing 2 days. One would be a push, one would be a pull. And how I separate my days, which I've already said in this, is I have lower push on Monday, I have upper push on Tuesday, off. Lower pull on Thursday, upper pull on Friday, off. Anyway, guys, that's it. Where was this at? www.facebook.com/Marc Lobliner. The first sticky thread in there, guys. I appreciate you watching on Marc Lobliner, tigerfitness.com, because answering questions that you don't know what the fuck they are before you read them, that's not a game.
So I'm looking at my email this morning. I get a mass email from one of the other sites that sell supplements that you're just a number to, right? They were bragging that one supplement line was free shipping. Bro, if you order over $99 in product in the continental US any day of the week, free shipping anywhere in the US, at continental USA. Free shipping on orders over $99 at tigerfitness.com. Why even look at the other guys? And also, we ship from Vegas and Ohio. Most places in the US are a 1 to 2 day ship. And that's not a game.